discuss various issues in which we can discuss about the various things which are going on these days. So, the we have categorized in many things. Means first we have categorized rural versus urban issues, right? So in rural versus urban issues, we have categorized how these rural and urban people are different because people are either directly or indirectly dependent on the agriculture. Many of the we have developed a law, but still there are the discrimination between the upper caste and the lower caste. So majority of the upper caste are holding the largest lands and they are having a largest land. So this is creating a discrimination between the rural and the urban, and this is the issue which we today are facing in all of them. I am living in Uttar Pradesh. You people might be living in various states because in Tamil Nadu, in Andhra Pradesh, Maharashtra, Rajasthan, wherever you be going, means upper caste citizens are having the largest land or they are the largest land holders. So this is one of the social reality of the India, and this is the biggest issue these days. Right. Second, what I have realized that the farmers in India they are receiving inadequate compensation for their hard work. They are not able to get complete compensation of their hard work. Right. So they are living in the rural areas and they are scattered, very much scattered. Due to this limitation, their accesses to the services like banks, hospitals, and schools is a minimum. So this is how they are discriminating between the rural and the urban people, and this is the issue has been created of their heart, right? So they are living in the rural areas and they are scattered. So, uh, rural versus urban is second issue we have just seen also and realized that in case of the urban sector, there is a concentration of the large population in small areas, which results in many issues like slums we are having a high crime rate also, and cities are also highly interdependent on every small part. Means if there is something happening in the cities or there is a strike, it will be creating a problem or it will be creating a hindrance in the path of the development or economy. So this is the also one of the issue. Uh, it it is seen mostly in many of the cases that we in India are facing still the rural and the urban social issues. Secondly, I have covered the thing. One, poverty. You might be having all the you all of you are knowing the what is basically the poverty, and still after the coronavirus took place, there are many of the people who lost their jobs. So poverty means basically when people are lacking lacking the means to satisfy their basic needs, basically. And there are various causes of poverty which have been described by many of the authors. Like David Ellis also described it is poverty, the causes of poverty as an individual. When individual ends up in poverty, and it is because of their own fault, or due to a lack of hard work and initiative. But still, we have to review all these points because some of the points might be skipped by you in earlier. So still, we have completed we, many of the years after the independence, but still we are facing the problems. The power have been basically organized by the government. Still, we are lacking in many of the amenities, basic things. So still, we are facing the poverty. Second cause of the poverty basically is due to the culture of poverty, and this concept was given by the Oscar Lewis. He believed that the lifestyle of the lower socioeconomic classes fostered behaviors and attitudes associated with the poverty. And the third cause of the society, poverty, is given by the propagated by the sociologist Herbert Gans. Herbert Gans also pointed out that middle and higher class had a vested interest in a poor. Means vested interest in a poor means they are showing their interest, but they know that this is the wastage of the time. If we will be doing this, we don't have to do. If they see the poor, they ask some questions. Means they are having interest, but looking at the poor means they show that they are wasting their time. So they are having they take minimal interest in this type. So if we talk in the Indian context, if we talk in the Indian context, means poverty, rapidly rising population, such a high population base the demand for the consumption of a limited number of resources. Still, unemployment, which is present in the form of the both underemployment and disguised employment in the agricultural sector. So this causes of the poverty in it is in the Indian context. So low agricultural productivity because they lack in capital, they lack in technology, and fragmented land holdings are also there. Means they are not having the complete one land. The lands are in the fragmentations. So this is also one of the cause of the poverty. So one of the biggest I have seen and I've realized that inflation of the government also means there is a not proper use of resources by the government. Second, caste system is also much prevailing and it also make this poverty and gender and a lack of infrastructure. The long effective system of caste and gender discrimination in India has suppressed people from accessing equal opportunities. So these are some of the causes which are responsible for the poverty. And now these days we can see more privatization and capitalization of the businesses in the country, which led to the disparity in the income, distribution of the money among the population. So one is getting more richer and richer, another is going poor and poor. So there is a discrimination between these two. So we have to realize basically that we are going towards the more privatization and capitalization. So this are all the causes which we have read and we are going to discuss in this our presentation. According to the Global MPI Report 2019, multi-purpose Global MPI Reports 2019 and 2020. It means 2020. Population was poor in the country, or the number of the poor was capped at 269.8 million. Secondly, in 2021, according to World Poverty Clock, the number of people who are living in poverty is 97.7 million, or roughly 6% of the population. There are males and females are segregated, means 44.8 million and 52.8 million females impacted by poverty in India. Females, we can see the females are more affected than males, because if we see the World Poverty Clock, there is a segregation of males and females. So females, if we see, they are more affected than males. So we can, there is also data I have collected in the form of this data is basically by the Niti Aayog, and the Niti Aayog Multidimensional Poverty Index report also. Multidimensional Poverty Index report is prepared by basically the Niti Aayog. So all this data you can see, and this according to Global MPI, this is all data report is according to the Niti Aayog. Means this we have collected through all the from the Niti Aayog portal, and they have given so many data. Means multi-dimensional poverty index report. Multi-dimensional poverty index report. See again, we can see this. I have collected multi-dimensional poverty index report. State-wise segregation has been there. Means their area means Andaman and Nicobar. We can see island. We are having a percent 4.30 poverty. People are living below the national poverty line. Similarly, Andhra Pradesh also 12.3, 12.31. Arunachal Pradesh again increasing 24.27. And the Assam is 32.67. And then come to Bihar 51.91. Chandigarh 21.81. Similarly, Chhattisgarh is 29.91. Right? So we can see in this slide, you can see maximum is having the, if we analyze this data, means Assam is having a people large number of share 32.67. Then coming to the next slide, if we go to the next slide, then it is Haryana, we can see 12.28. And in this slide, Jharkhand is having the people who are having in this slide having the largest number of people below national poverty line. And in the third slide, you can see Nagaland is 25.23, Odisha is 29.35, and similarly, you will be able to see people are living in Uttar Pradesh 37.79, and in Tamil Nadu, see you can see the Tamil Nadu 4.89, means it is coming in the prosperous state. Again, if we going to the analysis part, means if we see the state like Bihar, Jharkhand, Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, and Meghalaya have turned out to the poorest states in India. After analyzing the above data, we can see they are all in the poorest state, or they are poor states, basically, in which you can see 51.91% of the population in the Bihar as poor. See Bihar, if we see this is 51.9%, right? Second, if we see the Jharkhand we have read already 42.16. This I highlighted the portion, and population people are living below the national poverty line, 42.16. Again, if we go to the third state, means Uttar Pradesh, we have read about the Uttar Pradesh. I am highlighting this 37.79%. Means these percentage people are living below the national poverty line. Again, if we go after the Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh is 36.65%. Means 36.65%. We can go to again. We can go 36.65. Right. So similarly, we have for the Meghalaya and Assam. Both of them are having 32.67. Means you can check in the table. Assam is 32.67, and Meghalaya is similarly. We are having. I am highlighting this 32.67. Right. So these are all the means number one on Bihar, second is on Jharkhand, and third is Uttar Pradesh, fourth is Madhya Pradesh, and fifth is Meghalaya, and sixth is Assam. Means the Meghalaya and Assam are having on the same line. Means they are having a 32.67. Again, we analyze the data. On the basis of the above data, we classify two states. One is prosperous states of India, and the second is poorest state. Means if we go to the prosperous state, means Kerala, I wrote Kerala 2 times, right? So Kerala, and second is Goa, Sikkim, Tamil Nadu, and Punjab. Kerala has the lowest rate of poverty in India with only 0.7%, 0.71% of the population classified here. And Kerala is followed by the states like Goa 3.76, Sikkim 3.82%, and Tamil Nadu 4.89. I also emphasized when I was going through the slide, I emphasized that Tamil Nadu is having a 4.89% people living below poverty line, which means it is again in the prosperous state of the India. And again, coming to the Punjab 5.59, means it is also the having the people, that is having the people, which 5.59% people are living below the poverty line. So poorest state of India we go, we have already discussed also that Bihar is on number one, Jharkhand is on number two, Uttar Pradesh is on number three, Madhya Pradesh is on number four, means we have already discussed. So we can understand still we have gone through number of years, but people are still living below the poverty line, and we have to do a lot for the development of the area. So we have read the poverty, we have read how many people are living below poverty line on the national level, and various prosperous states and the poorest state we have discussed about. But what our government is doing for the alleviation of poverty alleviation, and what are the programs and the policies? What are the programs and the policies? See, uh, what, first is basically what is the aim? What is the aim of the poverty alleviation? We have to understand what is the aim of that. The aim of the poverty alleviation program is basically to access the food, for proper accessing of the food and monetary health and the basic essentials to the household and families belonging to the below poverty. Means we, government of India will be helping in proper accessing of the food and giving the monetary health and basic essentials to the household and families belonging to the below poverty. Secondly, if we go to the uh, if we go to the data of the World Bank, if a person is living on $1.90 a day or less than, he or she is living in extreme poverty. And currently 767 million people of the world fall under that category. Means 767 million people of the world are living on a 1.90, means 1 rupee 1.90 dollar a day or less. They are living in extreme poverty. Again, if we are going towards the other, for the, if we see the data of the India, 268 people in India were surviving on less than, means at this census, this data we are giving on the basis of the official data 2011, 2011, 260 people surviving on less than 1.90 a day. Similarly, as per 2011-12 estimation by the Planning Commission of India, 25.7% of the rural population was under the below poverty line, and for the urban area, it was 30.7. But it is not the reality. If we go to the temple or if we go crossing the road, many of the beggars are still, they are demanding for money, and they are demanding for food, and they are demanding for the basic amenities. So is this, I am asking you all, that is this a real fact we are able to grasp on the papers, or this is only limited to the papers, or this is the mere fact? I would like to have a one question that is still we are the poverty has been eradicated completely, has been eliminated. Is this? I think this is not the reality of the India, social India, and still many people are unemployed out. So coming to the point, various programs and schemes under the government were launched. Many of the schemes are launched by the government of India. Like you have also heard about the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana and housing for all by 2022. It was developed to provide housing to the rural and urban people. Like, latest government schemes like Startup India and Stand Up India and focuses on empowering people to earn their livelihood. Similarly, for the entrepreneurship also, there are various programs have been launched for the eradication for the eradication of the poverty and for Atmanirbhar Bharat, right? So I have listed some of the poverty alleviation program since independence, because we are celebrating the Azadi Ka Amrit. So we have just analyzed the data since independence. Like we have introduced the public distribution system of independence, and this scheme was first started in 1945 during the Second World and was launched in the current form after the 1946. So this PDS is uh, system management for food and distribution of food, because in poverty elevation we told, and I also discussed with you that we we have a aim to provide the food and monetary help. So this PDS was introduced for food and distribution of food grains, which plays a major role in poverty alleviation. This program is operated jointly by the central government and the state government. Moving towards 1978, we launched the Integrated Rural Development Program (IRDP), and the objective of this scheme was to raise the families of identified target group living below the poverty line through the development of sustainable opportunities for self-employment in the rural sector. Means this scheme was meant for the self-employment. If we go to the 1970s, at that time also the government introduced the self-employment scheme in the rural sector. Coming to the year 1983, again there was a scheme for the Rural Landless Employment Guarantee Program. Means at that time also the rural people who were not having lands, there was a scheme introduced, Employment Guarantee Program. So they can get, or they can be provided with the employment opportunities. Coming to the 19 Gramin Awas Yojana was also introduced, in which they are creating house units for everyone, along with providing 13 lakhs housing units, 13 lakhs housing units to the rural areas, and to provide loans. And the aim of this scheme, Pradhan Mantri Gramin Awas Yojana, which was introduced in 1985. The main aim of this scheme was to provide loans at the subsidized rates to the people, and also to provide employment opportunities through guaranteed wage employment. So this scheme was introduced in 1985. Again, coming towards the year 1989, Jawahar Rozgar Yojana. This was launched with the objective of providing 90 to 100 days employment per person, particularly in backward. At 90 to 100 days employment per person, particularly in backward districts. And people below poverty line were main targets. Means this scheme was mainly targeted for the people who were living below. In the year 1992, public distribution system was revamped, and this was revamped basically to improve its reach in far-flung, remote, and inaccessible areas where substantial section of poor live. Means they wanted to improve their reach towards hilly, remote, and inaccessible areas. Again, coming to the year 15th August 1992, government introduced the scheme Indira Gandhi National Old Age Pension Scheme to provide the pension to the senior citizens of India of 65 years or higher. and living below the poverty line. It provides a monthly pension. See, in 1995, monthly is between 60 to 70. Means 60 to 70. And who completed 80 years or and above, they were entitled to get rupees 500. Means 65 for those 60 above and below 80. 80 and above, they are entitled to get rupees 500. So these were the schemes. Again, coming to year 1995, I'm discussing these schemes so we can get what was earlier we have done is since 1947 to till date what had been done. So we have to analyze and what we have to achieve. We also have to target it. We have to achieve. National Family Benefit Scheme and Program was also the government also launched this scheme, and in this scheme there was a sum of rupees 20,000 to the beneficiary who will be next head of the family after that of its primary breadwinner. Means the person who is the primary breadwinner of the family, if anyhow he expired, she expired, then the next head will be getting, then the next head will be entitled for the benefit of the 20. In 1997, got rebounds in the PDS and it became targeted public distribution system. And what happened in this TDPS, basically, there were fair price shops for the distribution of fair grains at subsidized rates were established. And the primary goal was to distribute essential food commodities like rice, wheat, and kerosene at highly subsidized rates to the poor people, to the people living below poverty line. This poverty alleviation scheme has helped in addressing the issue of food insecurity in rural areas of the country. So many schemes had been launched, you can see, and I tried to consolidate in one table many of the objectives of the government that were there, and still government is making aims and objectives for the poverty alleviation. Again, coming to the year 1999 to 2000, Jawahar Gram Samriddhi Yojana was launched, and the main aim of the program was the development of the infrastructure areas like roads, schools, and hospitals. This Jawahar Gram Samriddhi Yojana was basically launched for the development of the infrastructure of rural areas like roads, school, and hospitals. And the secondary objective was to give out sustained employment. In 1999, National Maternity Benefit Scheme was also launched, and it was only for the families below the poverty line. This scheme provides a sum of rupees 6,000 to a pregnant mother, and this scheme was updated in 2005. I would like to add to your knowledge that this scheme was updated in 2005 to 2006 into Janani Suraksha Yojana. Again in 2017, it was renamed as Pradhan Mantri Matru Vandana Yojana, means PMMVY. This was renamed in 2017. Coming to the next, Annapurna scheme was also launched in 1999-2000. This scheme was started to provide food to senior citizens who cannot take care of themselves and are not under the National Old Age Pension Scheme (NOAPS) and who have no one to take care of them. This Annapurna scheme. Annapurna scheme was launched in the 1999 to 2000. The scheme was mostly targeted groups of the poorest of the poor and indigent senior citizens. Again, coming to the after the Annapurna Yojana, Antodaya Anna Yojana 2000. The system provides food grains at a highly subsidized rate of 2 rupees per kg for wheat and 3 rupees per kg of rice to the poor families under the targeted public distribution system. Means 2 rupees per kg for wheat and 3 rupees per kg for rice to the poor families. So Antodaya Anna Yojana, it was introduced in 2000, and Annapurna Yojana was introduced in 1999. Sampurna Gramin Rozgar Yojana. This was one elevation, and this scheme was launched by the government to gain the objective of providing gainful employment for the rural people. It was launched by merging the provisions of employment assurance scheme and Jawahar Gram Samruddhi Yojana. Self-targeting in nature and aims to provide employment and food to people in rural areas who lived below the poverty line. I am audible to all of you. Lakin, Dr. G, B. A. Gentleman, are you able to listen?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are audible, sir.
Okay. Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee in the Manrega these 100 days of wage employment in a financial year to every household. Another aim of Manrega is to create durable assets such as roads, canals, ponds, and wells also, and through the process of providing employment on work that address cause of chronic poverty such as drought, deforestation, and soil erosion. So Manrega was also very effective, but still there are ineffectiveness in the various programs. Again, coming to the 2011, the schemes of the National Rural Livelihood Mission, and it was launched with the objective by enabling the poor household to access gainful self-employment. Means this scheme, National Rural Livelihood, basically meant for reducing the poverty and enabling the poor household to access gainful service. Self-employment was also emphasized on the National Rural Livelihood Mission and skilled wage employment opportunity resulting in appreciable improvement in their livelihood on a sustainable basis. Again, coming to this in 2011, we have launched National Rural Livelihood Mission, and in 2013, we have launched the National Urban Livelihood Mission. So it focuses on organizing. National Urban Livelihood Mission it was launched in the year 2013. So it focuses on organizing urban poor into self-help groups. These self-help groups were created under this scheme, and they were also creating the opportunities for skill development, leading to market-based employment and helping them to set up self-employment ventures by ensuring easy access to credit. Again, coming to the year 2015, means we have the government launched one scheme, Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana, PGMDY, means they are Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana means providing the poor with banking services. With the banking services like saving, credits, free insurance, and overdraft facilities. Zero balance is a way to incentivize the poor into banking. The main aim of the government basically was that people should be opening the bank account, saving bank accounts, and they should use the facility of the, and every person should be having a bank account with zero balance. They can open the account. This was the main aim of the Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana, which was introduced in the year 2014. So we have gone through the various schemes like National Rural Livelihood Mission, National Urban Livelihood Mission, Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana, and two more popular are there. Two more popular schemes are also I would like to discuss. Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, Gramin Yojana. To provide this, the aim of this scheme was to cover the proper housing for the urban poor section of the population, and it is a restructured form of the Indra Awas Yojana. Indra Awas Yojana. It was the restructured form of the Indra Awas Yojana, which we have introduced in the earlier system. So this these are the schemes. And last is 2016 Pradhan Mantri Ujjwal Yojana, and it was launched to distribute 50 million LPG connections to the women of people poverty line BPL families. See, why I have covered all this scheme, because I covered all this scheme so we can study. In spite of these poverty alleviation program, there is still the poverty in India. People are living below the poverty line. Many of the new schemes have been launched, but still the people are living. Why these are the question here arises? How we have studied, and many of the people are taking the benefit of also the poverty alleviation program scheme launched by the government. Still, these schemes are ineffective. Why these are ineffective? We will be studying and discussing in our next discussions, like ineffectiveness of poverty alleviation program. So coming towards the our next slide, ineffectiveness of the poverty alleviation program. These programs might be ineffective because government did not properly identify and target the exact number of poor families in the rural areas. When there is no proper identification and we are not able to target the exact number of families in rural areas, it results that people who are registered are not getting the benefit, and who are not registered under these programs, they are benefited. Means the people who are eligible, they are not getting the proper benefit, and the people who are not eligible, they are getting the benefit. It shows the ineffectiveness of the poverty alleviation. Secondly, if we go through the discussion or if we analyze the data, there is an overlapping of similar government schemes is a major cause of ineffectiveness, as it leads to confusion among poor people. Sometimes two schemes were same idea, so it will be leading towards the confusion among the poor people and the authorities, and by this way the benefit of the scheme do not reach to the. Thirdly, overpopulation of the country means population is increasing day by day, you know, and this overpopulation of the country increases the burden of providing the benefit of a scheme to a large number of people. The burden of providing the benefit of the scheme to a large number of people and thus reduces the effectiveness of the program. Means government will be overloaded for the implementation of the schemes, and government will not be able to monitor the effectiveness of the program also. Due to the corruption is also one of the factors which basically makes these poverty alleviation programs ineffective And this is one of the major reasons. That's why there is an ineffectiveness of poverty alleviation programs. Now, government is also making an efforts in the employment generation, which is very important this step in the poverty alleviation in India. Unemployment issue in India is considered as one of the major causes of poverty in India. Unemployment, and this the poverty rate of country can be reduced with high economic growth and by reducing the unemployment problem. Means processes there means industries will be growing, you will be getting more and more employment. But still, unemployment is there, which is also responsible for the poverty. Various poverty alleviation programs are set up under the government of India that aims to eradicate poverty by providing employment on demand and through a wage, specific guaranteed wage. See, point to be noted here, through specific guaranteed wage employment every year to the households living below the poverty. So coming to the next, how we can generate the employment, that is more important. In the earlier slides we have discussed about, and employment generation is important due to the following reasons. We can understand, or we should know about what are the reasons behind it. It will increase the income level of the poor, has been reducing the rate of poverty in the country, as there is a significant relationship between unemployment and the poverty. Secondly, it will decrease the rural-urban migration through the generation of employment programs. We will be generating the employment programs in rural areas, then it will be decreasing the migration of rural people to the urban areas. And thirdly, an increase in the income level through the generation of the employment will help the poor in accessing basic facilities, including education, health facilities, and sanitation. So, these are some of the reasons we have read and we have discussed how the employment generation is important and it will be helping in poverty alleviation. Coming to the next point, we have defined the unemployment. This is also, see, this poverty is also first week in this session we tried to cover social realities, issue and challenges. In the first we have took rural versus urban, rural sector versus urban sector. Second, we have discussed about the poverty also. Third reality, which is the very most important social reality, is unemployment. Due to the unemployment, there are various problems are arising. So unemployment is defined. So coming to the, if we discuss or if we unemployment is basically defined as the inability to find remunerative work in the face of both potential and desire. We can see the graph that in 2020 there is a rate of unemployment has been increased to 7.1%. You can see in the slide that this rate of unemployment has been increased. So you can check the graph. You can check the graph, and you will be able to see that 7.11% rate of unemployment is there. Secondly, If we go to the unemployment, there is a data I have collected from the Center for Monitoring Indian Economy, India. India has 53 million unemployed people as of December 2021. Means 53 million people are unemployed. And this is the data of December 2021, which was published in Economic Times. And huge proportion of them are women. Means 53 million people are unemployed. And the huge portion of them are the women. Again, if we talk about, according to the Center for Economic Development Analysis, CEDA, unemployment rate sharply rose to 7.11% in 2020 from 5.27% in 2019. Means if we can go through, means you can see in 2018, you can see the rate of unemployment goes down from 5.33 to 5.27, and again in 2020 it goes up 7.11% rate of unemployment. Again, if we go to the third point, there is a point India displays the highest unemployed rate as compared to its closest neighbors, with China at 5%, means the rate of unemployment was at 5%, and at Bangladesh 5.3%, Pakistan at 4.65%, and Sri Lanka at 4.84%. US had our unemployment rate as compared to India in 2020, 8.31%. United Kingdom and Germany had unemployment rates of 4.34 and 4.31%. So we have gone through the rates of the unemployment. So many people have lost their jobs due to the coronavirus in the first phase. The rate of unemployment was up. I've also gone through the classifications of unemployment. Also, we have gone through the three types of classification. I've been used to the three types of unemployment. Seasonal unemployment means seasonal employed workers at some manufacturing goods, like some industries, they are working seasonally, and unemployed due to the nature of the work. And there's a work they are employing, and then there is no work, they are not employing the people. Secondly, there's a cyclic unemployment, means if there is ups and downs in the business, is the owner of the business say if there's up, means you will be having an improvement. If they are suffering from the losses, means there is retrenchment, they might reduce the number of the workers present in the industry. Technological unemployment is also there. Technological unemployment is caused because of the introduction, because of the new technologies, and many persons are very reluctant to use the automation and the new technology or artificial intelligence in most every industry, and which has resulted in the loss of economic security for the African. So now this is very important aspect I would like to discuss with you. Its causes of unemployment. See, this a lot, like caste system. Caste system is so much prevailing in India from Jammu to Kanyakumari. Our caste system is mostly prevailing. Means if you will be going for the interview in any of the university or in any other government job, then they will be asking you what is your caste. And caste they are not directly asking, they are asking the surnames. What is your surname? Like my surname is Dr. Amit Verma. Then what is your full name? Dr. Amit. And after that, what you put? What is your surname? Like Verma. Who are the Vermas? Then they are asking about that. So caste system is very much premium. If you are belonging to the upper caste, then you will be getting a benefit. Or if you are belonging from the lower class, you will not be benefit. Some of these things, I am not criticizing the things, but I am covering the realities, because my topic is the social realities of India issues and talents, and this is the biggest challenge all over India. Means jobs are only meant for the upper caste people, jobs are not meant for the lower caste. If there is no reservation, means people will not be able to get a good job because they will be unemployed. This is one of the reasons of the second. We talk about the communalism. Communalism is also very much prevailing in many of the academic institutions, universities. Also, communalism factor is also means belonging with which religion you belong to. And when we are filling the form of the university, filling the form of the higher education, deemed university, then there is a one section that which religion, from which religion you belong to. Means you belong to Hindu, you belong to Muslim, you belong to Christianity, you belong to minority. All these means after the independence, 1947, these are the thoughts kept in mind by the people who are providing you the job or by the employer. Causes of unemployment. So we have discussed about the caste system and the communalism in very brief. Yeah, I have not gone into very much detail, but this is the reality of the India, and these are the biggest challenges. These are becoming the problem day by day in every university, in every educational institution, higher educational team university, right? State universities, central universities, and also offices of the state and the center. Third causes of the unemployment is due to the slow economic growth. The economic growth is very slow, means we are not having adequate number of industries, and day by day, many of the students are passing from various programs. Like they have some persons are doing BSc, some people are doing BBA, but these are not able to absorb because of the slow economic growth. Again, next cause of unemployment is increase in population. Increase in population day by day. That's why limited number of demand of the jobs, and the jobs are not be for all. Means that these jobs are not able to absorb all the people who are passing their exam, final exam, not in all the people. So they are not able to adjust all the people. And I have already discussed seasonal occupation. Agriculture is the seasonal occupation, means they are cultivating the crop and they will be waiting for that. Then there's nothing, like cash is very less. So what they have to do, they have to go for searching of the job, and they are not getting the proper job. Then they will be coming back to the rural areas also. And they are full of cottage and small industries also. Cottage and small industries, artificial due to the automation process, artificial intelligence, and digitalization. There is a fall in the cottage and small industries because people are mostly dependent on the machineries and technology. So this is also one of the cause of the unemployment. Next, coming to the point, defective planning is our government planning is not so much proper. Means when he is not, she is not able to target or identify the proper people who is eligible for the benefit, who is eligible for the benefit of the scheme. So planning is not much effective. It is defective. Let's see. Gendered gendered violence was also there. Means uh, at places, workplaces, so much things are happening these days. Means girls and ladies are not able to join the offices and the corporate sector in many remote areas. So gender violence is also there, and this is the cause of the unemployment. Women are not safe at some places, like in Haryana, women women are not safe. Many of the places like Kurukshetra, Sonipat, still in Rajasthan, is still in many of the Indian places, like if we talk about degrading social status, this is also one of the cause of the unemployment. It means that many people consider themselves overqualified for certain jobs and thus prefer to remain unemployed. Means they don't want to apply for the school. If they have completed the PhD, means they will not be. Some people will not be applying for the school jobs. They say, "I have not done my PhD to do a job in the school. I have done my PhD to work in a degree college. I want to do a very prestigious job. I want to join where I can enjoy my status because so degrading social status is also one of the factors, one of the causes of the unemployment. Immobility. Geographical immobility basically refers in one location there is a surplus labor and in another one where we have inadequate labor. People may be moving to areas people may be unable to move. They are not able to move. Because why they are not able to move? Because lack of information, language barriers, or Punjab or family responsibility. Like if you go to the Punjab, means all the universities are taking the people who are fluent in Punjabi language. They can read and write Punjabi language. If the person is able to read and write Punjabi language, then he will be only eligible for teaching in the degree colleges and the higher institutions of the government, higher education institutes of the government. So there are job opportunities, higher job opportunities, but due to a lack of language barrier, they are not able to get a good job. So this geographical immobility is also become one of the cause of the unemployment. Now coming towards another cause, that is defective education system. It fails to give importance to the primary education and vocational training. Yes, and what this has been emphasized in NEP, National Education Policy also. Means primary education has been made vital by the policymakers, and vocational training is also essential for the holistic development of the of the candidates of the students. Then only we will be able to provide the quality for the higher educational institutes, because matching the skills and the talents after getting the theoretical or after reading the theory in book, then he will or she will be able to get a good job, and then he or she will be able to represent himself in the company or the higher educational institute or the office of the state or the central government. The benefits of education are mostly availed by the middle and the higher income group. And for the lower level, there is no good institute because the fees are very high. Still, scholarships are there, but there are many expenditures are also there. When the student is going to attend the college, because he or she has to look after the family also and the basic amenities also. So he cannot access the private school and universities, and this is why he is not able to access the good education. So the condition most government schools are unsuitable for study. We can say the conditions in most government schools are unsuitable for study because sometimes the teachers are not there. Sometimes teacher is there, she is not able to teach the student. she is busy with other works. So the condition in most of the government schools are not unsuitable for children. And the very important cause of the unemployment these days, this fatalism is there. Some people are so fatalistic that they attribute everything to destiny. Whatever be there is written in the destiny, that's why it is happening. Issues like poverty and unemployment are explained in terms of miskarma because you did wrong karma. That's why you are getting this. So therefore, they suffer the misfortune party and wait for, and they always wait for the miracle to happen. There's some miracle will be happening. So this fatalism is also there. Again, coming to the beggary also. Again, these are some issues. Means major issue I tried to cover in my session. Like first is poverty and second is unemployment. Some glimpses of rural versus urban sector also covered, right? And gone through many of the small portions of the others also. So beggary also it is also one of the social reality. Since independence, we are able to see beggars whenever we are coming across wherever we go. This is very painful experience that our India is growing and having so much development, but still we can find the beggars at the marketplace, railway station, hospital, temple, even at road crossings. You will notice some people approaching you with open palms. They are asking for money. They are asking for food. We also see many children packing in the streets. Beggary is a major social problem in India. The major cause of beggary in our country are poverty and unemployment. So, due to poverty and unemployment, beggary is there because they are not able to access the money or food. So, they are approaching you with open palms for money or food. Wherever you go, you will be able to find in hospital, temple, road crossing, or even at your door, right? So, beggary, I collected the data, uh, and some ministers also during the session of the Raj Sabha and the Lok Sabha also, they figured out these data, right? I'm also sharing with you this. So, according to the census, uh, you can see 2011, there are 4,13,670 beggars are there, are residing in India, including 2,21,673 are males and 1,91,997 females beggars in the country. If we talk about the West Bengal is on the top, means 81,224 beggars are there. In Uttar Pradesh, we are having 65,835 there. In Andhra Pradesh, also 30,218. And in Bihar is also 29,723. Again, coming to the Madhya Pradesh, 28,695 beggars are there. And in Rajasthan, 25,853 are at number 5 and 6 in the list. Again, coming towards the Dadar Nagar Haveli, Daman and Diu, and Andaman and Nicobar Islands have only 19, 22, and 56 beggars. See, in comparison to the West Bengal, Uttar Pradesh, Andhra Pradesh, Bihar, Madhya Pradesh, and Rajasthan, Dadar Nagar Haveli and Daman Diu and the Andaman Nicobar Haveli only having 19, 22, and 56. So much less beggars. And in the union territories like Delhi also kept had the largest number of beggars, 2,187, and in Chandigarh 121. Again, if we go to the northeastern states, we see Assam top the chart with 22,116 baggers. In northeastern part of India, Assam is having the largest number of baggers, is 22,116 baggers. Right? And if we see all of the India, is West Bengal is having largest numbers of baggers, 81,224 baggers. And Uttar Pradesh is also 65,835. So first is at West Bengal and second is Uttar Pradesh, which is having largest number of baggers. So higher education system, and this is all about the baggery. And again, coming to the next social reality of the higher education system. Miss, I was discussing with you that higher education system in India is blamed every now and then for being too theoretical and but not practical and skill based. Students study to score marks, not to gain knowledge. Means in higher education, students are basically studying to score marks and not to gain knowledge. Means there is no compatibility between the theoretical and the practical knowledge, and not they are not able to attain the skills. Means suppose take an example of the person who has done BTech in computer science is not able to open. Not I'm not talking about all the people. Mostly they are not able to open the computer cabinet. They are not able to open the laptop also. They are not able to describe what is happening in the background of the laptop, or what process is there, or what process is in the digitalization. They are not able to explain the process of digitalization also. So this is how theoretical they are. Theoretical, they will be able to tell you the definition, they will be able to tell you the importance, but they are not so much practical. They are not able to gain skills, they are not proficient. So they are having an above 90 marks, 95, 96, but they will not be able to tell you what is happening at the back. So coming to the next point, I covered the education system, number of higher educational institutions across India in 2019, and this is the report of the statista.com. So we have 39,931 colleges out there, and the stand is 993 universities are there in higher education. Again, coming to the education system, we see the state public universities at the top 371. State public universities are 371. State private universities are 304. And institutions of national importance are 127. Deemed university private 80. Central university is 46. Government deemed university 34. State open university 14. Government aided deemed university 10. Institutions under state legislation at 5. So education system also, and this is the enrollment in various courses. See, Bachelor of Arts is having highest enrollments. Coming to the next BSc, then coming to the BCom, then coming to the BTech, then coming the BE, then coming the Bachelor of Arts Honors, BA Arts, then coming Master Arts, MA, Master of Business Administration. See, MBA is having lowest in comparison to the MA and other professional courses. Coming again, it is lower than MBA, and Bachelor of Science Honors, BSc Honors is there. So it is mostly equivalent to the enrollment is equivalent to the Bachelor of BCA. And coming to the B.Ed, B.Ed is to the BCA, MBA, and BSc honors. Coming to the MSc, then it is lower, BBA is also lower in comparison to the BSc, BA and BCom. BBA is also lower. Coming to the Bachelor of Laws, LLB, Master of Commerce, MCom. MCom is also low. So mostly the enrollment we can see in the Bachelor of Arts BA. Then coming to the BSc and BCom. Means traditional courses still having enrollment much higher than the professional courses we can see. Again, coming to this next, this gendered violence is also there, and it is one of the we can see gender violence is also there. So gender violence we can see uh, gender violence if we cover about the if we ask about the gender violence, what is the gender violence? Because many of the people who are belonging from the commerce department or from the science department might not be able to understand. But BA, we are having a sociology as a subject, so they are able to explain you well. But still, we slight glimpse of this gendered violence. But like in this gendered violence, mainly the victims are the women due to their exploitation. Violence against the women, it can be in the form of the criminal, it can be in the form of the domestic, and it can be in the form of the social violence. So criminal violence consists of rape, murder, female foeticide, and abduction. Right? And domestic violence includes violence and sexual violence comprises of teasing, inheritance laws favoring man. So according to the National Crime Record Bureau, and it is a very latest data of December 2021, a total of you can see 3,71,503 cases of crimes against women were registered across. This is the data I collected from the National Crime Record Bureau site, NCRB, and this is the latest data, and it was published in the Hindustan Times. So, latest, according to this data, total of 3,71,503 cases of crimes against women were registered. Women. So, this is the example of the gendered violence. So, this is one of the reality of the. This is the reality of the society. This is the social reality, and it is day by day becoming a challenge for all. We have to, otherwise it will be becoming a serious issue in near future. So we have to look after it, and government also has to take action in this gendered violence area. Again, coming to the child labor is also one of the social reality, and it is also one of the issue these days. Very much, I can see, and you people are also see in hospitals, in trains, also at many of your houses. Also, child are taking care of all the older people also. So I think it is good or bad. You might be knowing better from me, but according to me, it is not good. Child labor is basically a manifestation of poverty in the country has become a social problem. And large number of families belonging to the poor section of the society are forced to depend upon their child's contribution to the family income. They are not in a position to spare their children for full time or even part time schooling. The children who are expected to be in schools are found working as a laborers. I went to the Jharkhand in the year 2019 and 2018 also. I've seen many of the children has been sold by their parents because they cannot afford the expenditure of their children, and they sold their children to the various states like Maharashtra. They have sold the children Rajasthan. They have sold the Punjab. They have sold to the Haryana. They have sold to the in Himachal Pradesh. Because their family income is very, very low. And they cannot afford, and they are not in a position to spare the children for full time. They cannot give them proper schooling. So what happened? They what happened? What they did? They sold the children, and some of them make them for the various offices or for the home or for the personal use also. So I would like to I would like to discuss, and I would like to give you more information that according to the data from Census 2011, the number of children laborers in India is 10.1 million, of which 5.6 million are boys and 4 million are girls. The number of children labor in India is 10.1 million according to the Census 2011. That next latest data has not been still launched, but this data I have collected from the census CSO site and the 2011, and the number of the children labored in India is 10.1 million, out of which 5.6 million are boys and 4 million are girls. The census of India 2011 reports 10.1 million working children in the age group of 5 to 14, out of whom 8.1 million are in rural areas, mainly engaged as cultivators, 26%, and agricultural laborers 32.9%. So child labor is not also legally good. And I would like to cover constitutional and legal provisions which are taken of the child labor, because this is the challenge and we have to remove it from the society. According to the Article 23 of the Indian Constitution, any type of forced labor is prohibited. According to Article 23 of the Indian Constitution, any type of forced labor is prohibited. At least it is totally prohibited. Child labor is totally prohibited according to Article 23. Again, coming to the Article 24 states that a child under 14 years cannot be required to perform any hazardous work. No hazardous work can be taken from a child who has not who is not completed 14 years. Article 39 states that the health and the strength of the workers, men and women under tender age are not abused. In the same manner, Provision and Regulation Act 1986 prohibits children under the age of 14 years to be working in hazardous industries and homes. If you see any child nearby you, in a school, degree college, university, or at home, the please report to the nearest police station, because this is not legally good. And many of the people are not doing it. I don't know why. They are not have a vested interest in them, or they are not interested, or they feel like that their this is not their right, or they are not capable of. They don't want to indulge in any type of legal interest. So please help the children so they can enjoy also their right. They also able to. So I have covered many of the sessions, like I have covered the education after the unemployment. I have covered the beggary also. I have tried to. I have also tried to cover the higher education system also, and gender violence also, child labor also, constitution and legal provisions also. But still, there are many of the social realities are there. Like people are involved in these days. They are involved in these days like drug addiction also, alcoholism also, and beside that, they there is a mismatch of their schooling is whether they are able to get a proper job after their schooling or not. But the major ones which I tried to cover in my session, which was the session was basically from 2 o'clock. I covered those and tried to sum up many of the things in brief. So if any of the question is there, please you can ask me or you can drop down in the chat box also if you have, or you can also put directly to me so I can answer your question in a in my manner. So, ma'am, Dr. B, Lieutenant Dr. B. Ajanta, I tried to some of the areas of the and my distinguished faculty attending the session, respected professors, respected deans, respected HODs, respected principals, and respected VCs. If anybody is there, if you have any idea or if you have any question, you can please ask or you can discuss with me. I will be more happy to discuss your questions and answer session also. So, ma'am, Lieutenant Dr. B. Ajanta, ma'am,
Yes, sir.
is there?
Participants, if you have any questions, you can unmute yourself and ask the questions to us, sir.
Yes, yes. So, I completed.
Yes, sir. We can open the session now for questions, sir. Will it be okay? Okay, Shyam. It's almost a time for our next session. So we are not getting any questions from our participants. I think we are all clear with your ideas and everything. And Balavan, sir, do you want to ask anything?
Yes, madam.
Yes, please, sir, please.
Sir, thank you for your wonderful presentation. Hello?
Yes, sir, you are audible, but it is little echoing.
Is it audible?
Yes, sir, now it is fine, sir. Please proceed.
Thank you, ma'am. A wonderful presentation by a presenter from Lucknow. But I have a lot of doubts and some of the clarifications I need to clarify. And Sir has given the various issues prevailing in India, not only in India and various states, about regarding poverty and unemployment and all those things. Very beautifully, logistically, he explained everything. And also a lot of, he gave a lot of list of poverty alleviation programs. And it is wonderful to hear, starting from the 1982 onwards or 89 onwards up to 2016, a lot of program was introduced in order to alleviate poverty. But by seeing the present last budgetary section, and many things were introduced to alleviate poverty, but the present union government has reduced a lot of subsidies for a lot of programs, and it is highly contradicting each other. For example, PDS, let us take PDS, Public Distribution Program, and it was introduced just to eradicate poverty, but at the same time, the present government has reduced drastically the subsidies which was given to public distribution program earlier, and also for education, and also for this 100 days employment. A lot of things were drastically came down. I think so. If it is the case, is it not contradictory with the programs introduced by the government? At the same time, they are having a hidden agenda on the other hand. What is your opinion, sir, regarding this? Hello. Hello.
Hello. You
Yes,
are
sir.
able to hear my voice?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes,
Now.
yes, sir.
Actually, there was a mute button, and by mistake I thought that I put it
It is not
to
audible.
hear my voice. Sir, your question not audible. Your question is that the government has introduced so many schemes, and in spite of that, this present government has drastically reduced the subsidies, and in spite of this, we are not able to alleviate the poverty and the unemployment. Am I right? Is this your question?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Sir, many of the schemes government since after the independence, suppose you talked about the PDS, public distribution system. This PDS was introduced in the 1935 by the British and East India Company. Also earlier they have introduced this PDS, public distribution system. So nowadays they have reduced the subsidies, and they have reduced the quantity of the food grains also. But still because corruption, due to this corruption, the people who are needy ones, they are not getting the proper amount of subsidies. First reason is that, so that's why they are not able to alleviate. I also emphasized in my presentation that there is one person who is eligible, and second, other person is not eligible. The person who is not eligible, he or she is getting the benefit, and the person who is eligible, he is not able to get a benefit, right? Here the contradiction comes. Your question is that government is subsidized, is lessening the it's also less. So, sir, because my population is increasing day by day, and the resources, and due to the defective planning, they are not able to properly implement it. Because if the one person is doing the corruption, and if he get caught, government official, then government will not be trusting on the other official. So government will be cutting the quantity of the food, and also the monetary helps also they are cutting down. See, 500 rupees, then the government was giving the pension to the above 80s in 1995, and these days when you talk about the pension, means they are giving 1000 rupees, 1000 rupees, not more, in comparison to the 1995. When there is a corruption, means one person is caught, means government is become very suspected, and government becomes very suspected, and he or she, the government will not be allowing to make the other people more and more giving the food grains. Then it will be cutting all the things, whatever the subsidized rates are there, they will be going to needy will be going to get it on the demand of that. And for that also they are creating the biometrics with the use of the Aadhaar card. Biometric expressions are there, means only the needy ones are getting. But sir, see, again, today we are having a vote in Lucknow, because today is 23rd of February, right? And in the past 3 months, they have increased the quantity of the food grains. Now they are also giving one more thing, that 2 cylinders of the gas after winning of the election they will be providing. So due to the these are all they are giving due to the elections. Sometimes so for winning the election, but government properly when they are giving, they are due to the financial burden, because the population is increasing day by day, and financial burdens of the government is also increasing day by day. So it uh, becomes very tedious for the government to provide everybody monetary help, or more and more monetary help, or more and more food grains to everybody. So they are trying to subsidize, and they are trying to cut the rates also, because everybody cannot be benefited, but the thought of the government is to provide help to everybody. See, sir, in the first phase of the corona, when Narendra Modi gave the speech, that and the first phase of the corona happened, and the lockdown was there on the 24th of the March 2020. You might be remembering. So remember, Narendra Modi, Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi, gave the speech that he will be looking after whole of the India, and they will be helping you out. Again, after 1 month, he gave the speech that you have to, means you have to take care of your neighbor, you have to take care of the people. So, because due to the financial burdens, government cannot do each and everything for the people who are living below poverty line. So they are trying to subsidize the rates, and they are trying to cut the rates, and they are trying to cut the quantity also. Means sufficient and adequate amount of the things are provided to the people who are living below the poverty line. And if we talk about the unemployment is basically, I told you, and I revealed the data also. Unemployment cannot be increased until our industrialization process is becoming more and more, because due to the slow growth of the industrialization, our growth of economy will be slow, and the opportunities coming will be also less. So all the people will not be absorbed in the jobs. So some of them might be left, so they are able to involve themselves into other types of entrepreneurship. And there are many entrepreneurship schemes are also launched by the government, right? Because all the people are not getting the government job, or all the people are not getting the private job. So they have to do the process of entrepreneurship, through which they can do management of services, marketing of services. So in future, they will be able to absorb the students also, more and more students. So I think, sir, I have satisfied your query up to the 60-70%.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
60-70%, but might not be able to 100%.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Sir, it is time for our technical sessions. Shall we close this session with your permission, sir?
Sure, ma'am. Sure, ma'am. Whatever the formalities of your organization, you can do, and you can proceed to this.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much for your enriching session, sir. We feel very happy to get an opportunity to listen to your insightful speech. Though we have a session dealing with poverty, the resources are really rich enough for extensive research. We are grateful for the time and effort you took to share your thoughts and experience with us. The data and the insightful presentation will be more useful to the young research scholars and the faculty members pursuing research. Thank you again for your valuable contribution to our conference.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for all of you. Okay.
Dear presenters, please join your respective Google Meet link at 4 o'clock. Each presenter will get 5 minutes to present your paper and 3 minutes for question and answer. The link for each and every sessions have been posted again in our WhatsApp group. Please click on your respective meeting link and join the meeting at 4 o'clock. Thank you.
You are welcome, ma'am. I can put up, ma'am.
Yeah, sir. Yes, sir. We can send off, sir.
Madam, will you send the list of participants?
Yeah, it is already posted in our group yesterday itself, sir. Only for the 4 list. We faculty members are having presentations tomorrow only, sir. I will post after the session has started, after the technical sessions of today have started.
Thank you.
Feedback link has been posted in our group, chat. Kindly fill it.